Kofi Coburn, what are the challenges with kind of matching up with him?
Obviously a big player, very unique.
Yeah.
Reminds us of Isaac. Just when you got to go and game plan against somebody, if they establish a deep position, whether that's posting or rebounding, it's hard to move them. You have to do something to be able to. The ball's got to bounce a different way.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be quick to double him. You have to get him away from kind of his sweet spot into what he wants to do. If he gets comfortable and deep down there, he's either going to score it or he's going to get to the free throw line. So, just a good player and moves very well for somebody that size. Gets 4 offensive rebounds a game. Gets 10 rebounds a game, 15 points. Just a good player, but you also can't overdo it. So many people that would face us would overdo, Isaac, and then people would get in foul trouble. We'd get to the free throw line, and it would work to our advantage. So you got to make him make some plays, make some shots, but don't foul him more than anything. That'd be my advice to our players: is work really hard, get your work done, and if he gets you, and he makes a post move, he makes a post move. But don't sit there and foul him the whole night, and you end up playing 10 to 15 minutes.
What impresses you about how Sasha prepares for a game to get himself ready to go? And these fast starts he's had the last couple of weeks.
Well, I don't know anything about his actual preparation different than other people, but obviously when we recruited him, we thought he was somebody that was right in our wheelhouse, and the fact that he wanted to come to Purdue and he could shoot the basketball and he'd fit into, if you could get skill and playmakers and get good size, you're going to have a good balance out there. He's really, shot the ball well at home and got off to a good start. The thing that was great about other night was, he finished the game, and those weren't 2 wide open shots that didn't mean anything. They're 2 shots that we desperately needed, and they both were challenged. If you go back and watch the tape, they both were very closely guarded and almost blocked in both occasions. So, the fact that he made plays to start the game to get us going, but he also finished off the game was huge. That's not easy to do. And he's worked really hard. It's when you come somewhere and you go to school, a lot of kids don't want to do this, but they don't understand the most important piece of it is the end game. How many years do I play? How many years do I play major minutes? How many years do I start? How is my career going to end? Instead, if it doesn't work for him right away at the beginning, Sasha was different. We told him, hey, we have a place for you, but we also have Carson Edwards, Dakota Mathias, Ryan Klein. You are probably going to redshirt. You're going to redshirt. And then, the next year, we still have a couple of those guys, and you'll have a better chance to play. But, but he's waited his turn, and now, if he can hold the spot and keep producing and being productive, he could be a guy that could play major minutes for 3 years. And then guys don't understand that about their career and making that decision. The people around making decisions don't understand it either at all. They want to know, what can you do? How can we do it? How quick can we do that? And still, it's the quality of your career that you're going to reflect on 20 years from now.
What kind of challenges await Illinois guards for your perimeter guys?
Right. Well, they're very aggressive. They don't let you use some screens. They down a lot of things, and they really get into you. If you show weakness, they're really going to get aggressive and play the passing lanes. If you can move the basketball and you can break them down, they won't be as aggressive. But I would think at home and the way they hawk the ball and get after you, that that they definitely will try to make things hard on us. And then you complement with that athleticism, with the size that they have. And it's a really good defensive balance, because they got 2 big bodies down there trying to clog up the middle, but they also have the athleticism where they're trying to get out in the passing lanes and to disrupt things.
Is this a game where you can play the 2 bigs together because of Georgie and Kofi, or is it a game where you need more perimeter guys out there to handle pressure?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. We got to be able to handle both of those things. So I think the answer is we'll play both ways, but we'll play both ways no matter who we're playing. When we sub and we get in there and we have 2 big guys in there, we try to play to our strengths there, but then when we don't have both the big guys in there, we try to play to our strengths also.
Jihad, I think the last few games, I think he's shooting like 24%, something like that. Do you see a fix there for him, something that can
Yeah,
get this turned around?
lock yourself into other things. You know, I think that's always the best thing to do, is just lock yourself into the things that you can control. Keep working on your shooting. Keep working on, you know, doing things at a game speed, and get better. You know, you don't get extra, you know, swings in the batting cage just when you're struggling. You get extra swings in the batting cage every day. You know, just keep doing it. And he's a guy that works on his game, but you know, if he does other things and he rebounds and defends and scraps and fights, you know, he finds his way. You know, that's when you have an offensive game like he does. You know, those other things, just worry about the controllables and stick with it.
When you play your bigs together like you did the other night to start the second half, you got off to a good start.
Yes.
And this is the challenge of finishing the rest of the game and
Right.
still getting those guys some rest, and then being
Right.
able to come in the end. I mean, how
Right.
is that something that is still a work in progress?
Well, it's just
trying to work.
Yeah, it's not going to be
through
a
that?
work in progress. It's just it's an issue,
Right.
an issue that won't go away. Anytime you deal with big people, it's hard for them to sustain just that cardiovascular, just having that stamina and fighting through it. And each one's different. You know, a lot of the times, and when I've coached a lot of big guys, some guys can continue to play through it. Swanigan was the best that we had. You know, Isaac was a guy that really improved as the years went on, but he still had it. You know, you can't wait for the mistakes to happen to where, like, you know, you have a mistake on the offensive end, the defensive end, the offensive end, just because a guy is just, you know, absolutely winded. And then, you know, what stinks about it is having that sense and watching it and knowing your personnel and knowing which guy can play through it, which guy can't, and being able to see that. Because sometimes it happens after they've played well. You know, they've had 2 or 3 good possessions in a row, but now you can see it in their face. You know, now you're trying to prevent that. And what you get pushback on all the time from that is like, you know, why would you take him out? Like, he just did 2 or 3 good things. And if you have great stamina, then the person who's saying that is accurate. But if you don't, you just prevented somebody. Now you're getting them the blow at the right time. And that takes time as a coach to kind of figure out and to watch with each guy. Like Matt, in a regular game, I would have taken Matt out of those games. We just couldn't afford to take him out from a defensive standpoint more than anything, but we also felt like he had the matchup offensively no matter who they put on him to score, you know, and I think that proved to be true.